Hola familia, it's Alex. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. So as you guys can see, today is a bonus video. I had all intentions of doing a get ready with me and posting it today, but I actually received this palette unexpectedly in the mail, so I wanted to get a video up rather quickly because I know that if I don't, I will be irrelevant, one, and two, if you are on the fence of getting this one because it is sold out at the moment, they are going to restock it, but it might take a little bit. I wanted to give you guys a comparison to see if this is even worth you even trying to get the next time they do restock this palette. So I had asked you guys on Insta Stories, what kind of palettes did you guys want me to compare it to? I have almost all the ones that you guys requested, but one, unfortunately, but I think I can give you guys enough comparisons to make you decide whether this is something you want in your collection or you could do without. I will also share with you guys a quick demo at the end if you want to see how I got this look. I am very confident and comfortable with this specific formula, and they had not changed it. This is still the same as I remember with every other palette that I own. So I feel like my first impressions of it is going to be a little bit better because I'm so used to their formula. So if this is something that interests you, stay tuned. But first, if you're new to my channel, welcome to the familia. My name is Alejandra. I'm an eyeshadow enthusiast with a dash of Prague, Japan. If that is something that interests you, subscribe, join us. And now without further ado, let's get on with this palette comparison. I always like to set the stage for you guys before I jump into any videos. You guys probably have noticed, so I'm going to set it up right now. I will be comparing palettes as a whole with this one. I've also filmed up close swatches of this particular palette, and I have taken pictures of each palette that I will be sharing with you guys today individually that I will pop on the screen so you guys can see them side by side in natural light, no artificial lighting, just the clouds that I have today. I don't even have full sun today. So you guys can really see these two palettes, or each palette with this one particularly. I just wanted to put that out there because I am not here to compare the specific shades. I can dupe this palette if you want with individual shades. I want you guys to get an idea of the overall look of this palette versus the overall look of other palettes that I will be sharing with you guys. I will point out similar shades in each palette, but I'm not here to dupe each individual shade in this particular palette. I want to make that very clear. And out of all the palettes that I will be sharing with you guys today, after I've done my research, looked through all of them, I feel like one specific palette that I do own gives you almost the whole entire vibe of this palette, where if you do own it, you might not want to get this one. Or if you're a fan like I am, I love Menagerie Cosmetics, so it doesn't matter what they put out. As far as eyeshadow palettes, I will get them all, and I do own them all. So I will share that with you guys today because I do want to save you guys money. If you don't really need it or you don't really care to have duplicates in your collection, I'm here for you. So I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of this particular palette before I start comparing them. So this is their newest palette. It is permanent to their collection. It's called the Fight Club. The actual packaging itself just comes in a purple box like this, like it almost matches my shirt. There's nothing to it, so I'm going to toss that out. They do have a beautiful color art. Like, this is gorgeous. I really do love that Menagerie Cosmetics always puts whoever created their artwork in the back. You will always note in the back who created it. This individual does have an Instagram, and I have checked them out. They have amazing artwork, let me tell you, and this is no different. So it is a beautiful palette with that bat and fruit. So it's called the Fight Club palette. It does come with a mirror like it always does. Every single Menagerie one does, and it is heavy like every other one. It is magnetic like every other one, so you can pop these out, put whatever you want, rearrange it however your little heart desires. So this is what the palette looks like, and I will have up close pictures of this and video so you guys can see the palette up close and swatches of it. So you guys can see this is truly not just a monochromatic purple palette. I want to put that out there right there because I got a few comments saying, oh, I did not expect it to be this kind of color story in person. This does not have a lot of purple. Well, I shouldn't say it doesn't have a lot of purple. It's just not purple eyeshadows. So you can see that you're getting pinks, purples that have pinks, purples that are cooler tones, purple that are more rich in tone. You get these vibrant, very pink, almost red, raspberry kind of shades. You're getting a neutral shade in here, and you're also getting these mauve shades, mauve purple shades in here that are matte to use, and you're getting a true pink. So you're getting a nice variety Of the shimmers, I'm only seeing 5 shimmers in here, and then the rest of the palette is all mattes. Now, I am so excited about this one right here because this one kind of has like a shifting effect to it. It's like a purple blue, and so does this one. For whatever reason, this one, when I swatched it too, kind of has like a red purple, almost like a raspberry purple. I don't know, it's so pretty, but I'll get to that in a second. So you guys saw the swatches, gorgeous. Quality is exactly like every other Menagerie palette that I've ever tried that I do own. This one cost me $38 and change, $39, it's rounded up. So it's reasonably priced for the amount of product that you're getting. Now, if you're not a person that loves purples, don't get this palette because it does have true purples. I will say, just by using this palette once, comparing it to all the palettes that I am going to compare it with you guys today and use it on my eyes, there is one drawback to this palette that I will mention, but I don't feel like it's too much, but I will put it out there just in case. This palette, the darkest matte you are getting is right here. This is the darkest matte you are getting. If you want to take this look a little bit deeper, you may have to use this one, but this one's a bit more foiled, so I don't know how that's going to work on the eyes. I am wearing this particular one on the outer V, packed on and blended ever so lightly on the top because I wanted it to be a pack a punch. And you will notice that when I compare it to the other palettes, how this palette is lacking a very deep matte shade to take it to that sultry end that some of you may want, or those that have deeper dark skin may have trouble doing that if you don't want to use this one or this one as an outer V, kind of like a foiled. You know how like I sometimes do that and it works? I haven't tried that yet, again, because this is my first impression, first time putting it on my eyes. I will continue to play with it to let you guys know, because I will do a ranking of all the palettes that I use every 2 months. You will see this coming up again. So I just wanted to put it out there because that's the one main thing I will say about this palette. Other than that, I can honestly say that none of the mattes really look too much alike. Some of them have different undertones where they may look similar at first, but when you notice them, they have different undertones. They all have a place in here, and I feel like even the foils and the metallics all look very different from one another, that you're going to get multiple looks out of this palette. You're going to get pinky looks, you're going to get mauve looks, you can get purple looks, you can get anything in between. I really truly think that this is a very versatile and unique palette as far as how many color combos you will come out with. It's not just a monochromatic purple palette. This really is it for those that want to change it up often. I do love it. So far as first impression for this palette, I do love it. I love the quality. I love how I came up with this look. I loved how the shades are different from one another. So for me so far, it's been great. But again, follow me on my Insta stories. You will see more looks with this palette, and you will see this in my ranking palette. And I will further discuss the ending result of how I feel about this palette there. But first impressions, 2 thumbs up. Now I'm going to do my best to try to hold these palettes up. Some of them are really heavy together and they have very bulky packaging or a mirror. I'm going to do my best to try to hold these without blinding you guys. But I will, like I said, have photos of each of the palettes together so you can see them up close. Even if the lighting here may wash it out, you will see it in natural lighting. So we're going to start out with first the Vivid Rose palette was the first one you guys wanted me to compare it to. Let me just try to hold this without breaking it. So here are the 2 palettes together. You guys can see that you're getting that vibe, and I will mention that the 2 matte shades in this palette are very, very similar to ones in here. This one I feel like has a little bit more brighter pinks in here, more vibrant, and you're getting those deep matte purples that I feel like this one is lacking. You see how deep that purple is in the Vivid Rose? This one I feel like is lacking a little bit as far as that purple goes. But I will mention that this matte right here, and where's the other one? This matte right here are super similar to this matte right here and this matte. So I'm going to swatch both of them so you guys can see. Not that I am comparing shades, but just in case you're wondering, they look similar in the pan, but they may not necessarily look similar in swatches. So you guys can see right here, these 2 right here are from the Menagerie Fight Club, and then these 2 right here from Vivid Rose. They look very similar in the pan, but you guys can tell this one has a lot more purple than this one does. And then this one right here is definitely lighter in tone than this one. But these two could actually be very similar, just that this one's a lot deeper than this one are. So you guys can see that you're getting similar but not exactly dupes. And I'm not here to dupe the singles. I just wanted to share with you guys similarities between both of the palettes that I am going to share with you. Now here you can clearly see how much brighter, how much vibrant this one is. As far as the foils, the Menagerie does not have any pink in there. This one is a little bit more pink tone, and this one's a lot more cooler toned. When you're looking at this one, this gives you a little bit of a different vibe than that. You're getting more of that blue. These are a lot more purple toned, deeper toned pinks than they are vibrant, bright pinks. So you might get a similar vibe if you do own the Vivid Rose, but you're not getting exactly the same. Now let's move on to the next one, which was the Violet Ink. This has now been discontinued from Menagerie Cosmetics, which breaks my heart. This one you guys thought, well, maybe this one might be it. And I can tell you right now, no. The difference between both of these is that Violet Ink is very cool tone and it goes more blue than it does purple and pink. So can you see the difference? Like this one is a lot more pinks and purples, and this one is definitely more blues and more purple blues. So I don't think that these are very similar at all. I feel like if I'm looking at both of these, there's not really one shade that look alike. The only one I could think of that may be similar is this one right here, but you guys can see it gives you like a blue purple, and the closest to that, see, it's not even blue purple. This one's a lot more purple base than that one. See, I'll show you swatches of both of those so you guys can see. This is from the new Fight Club, and this is from Violet Ink. You see how this one just pulls more blue than purple. So I don't think that those two are similar. See it right there. They're not similar at all. So for the Violet Ink, if you own it, this is still different. So far, I haven't given you an exact replica of this palette. You might be getting the vibes here. This one's a lot more pink based. This one's a lot more blue based, so we're not there yet. Let's keep going and I'll share with you guys the last four that I have. The following one I want to share with you guys is the Violets. Here it is right here. Again, can you tell that these are a lot deeper? This deep purple is missing out of this Fight Club one. It's not even in here. Just looking at it really quickly, just on my own, I really can't see similar ones. The purple metallics in here are not as metallic-y in here, and I feel like this one is so much deeper. It goes very, very deep versus this one. You guys can clearly see right there, and obviously the close-ups you can see that as well. So I don't feel like these two are similar either, and I can't really pick. The deepest, darkest one, metallic-wise, would be this one right here, and look how deep plum that goes in the violets versus in the Menagerie. Menagerie is a lot lighter, as you guys can see. That's from Violets and that's from Menagerie, and it's a lot lighter in person, to be honest with you. This is a lot deeper. It's a lot more sultry than in the Fight Club palette. So this one goes a lot deeper. If you want something deeper, if you have deeper dark skin tone, this one's great. This one, again, doesn't give you the exact vibes of it. Let's move on to the other Juvia's Place one that you guys mentioned, and that was the Nubian Royal. Here we have more of a pinkier tone to it, cooler tone, which is right here. So let's compare it to the Fight Club, shall we? Here we are. As you guys can see, this one gives you a little bit more pink. That shade right over here is very close to this one right here, or this one. This one's very pink, but I would say this one right over here. Again, I'm going to compare both of them, but you guys can see that you're getting similar vibes, but not exactly. Not exactly. Again, these two shades are not the same. This one from the Fight Club is more raspberry. This is a lot more pink. So you're not getting exactly the same again. I feel like this one gives you more of the deeper sultriness in here that the Fight Club does not, and you're lacking more pink. This is the only pink tone, and it's a very light pink tone versus the one in the Fight Club. So here's the Fight Club. You guys can see. Still not exactly the same. You can get similar looks, but it's not the whole group. Huda Beauty Amethyst. So this one was rather similar. I was surprised at this one. This one is lacking the very light shades that the Fight Club does have, but you're getting similar vibes. We're getting closer to the one that actually meets this one. You can see right here, you're getting the pinks in here. The only downside to this, the Huda one, is you're only really getting one purple shade. The rest are more pinker, mauvier, burgundy shades. So this is leaning more of that burgundy mauve tone than the Fight Club. Fight Club has a lot more purple to it. So you can clearly see right here. And then the Huda, the center color has a lot more silver to it, a lot silvery purple. This one has more very deep purple shimmers and bluish. So I don't think these are exact, but you're getting very close. So far, this has been the closest one to duping the whole entire vibe of this palette. So if you have this one, you may quench your thirst according to this one, but this one, you're still lacking a little bit more purple. Here are the two center shades that I mentioned. This one's from the Huda and this one is from Fight Club, and you can see that they are different. They're very, very different. And those are the two closest that I could find in both of the palettes that may be getting you something similar. And the last one, and the one that I feel is the closest to the whole entire vibe of the Fight Club. And if you do own it, you might consider not getting this one. But if you love the Menagerie Cosmetics formula like I do, this might be something you want to give it a shot if you love the one I'm going to show you. And to be honest with you, it's the ColourPop It's My Pleasure palette. I feel like this is the closest you will get to the Fight Club. You're getting those lighter shades, you're getting a purple, you're getting the mauves. Look at this. Like, I feel like this is rather close. You're getting like that shade right there, which give you that lighter, the lighter pink, the more purple, silvery blue shade, the deep purple, but it's not so dark and deep. You're getting the pinks. You see what I mean? Like, I feel like this is going to be the closest one next to the Huda one. So if you like this one and you enjoy this one might be something for you. I feel like this is the expanded version of It's My Pleasure, but this one is so much better quality. Let me tell you, I love the Menagerie Cosmetics quality. These are pressed pigments. So the saturation and the pigmentation is going to be 10 times more than you would get out of this one. Bear in mind though, this might stain your eyes. And if you have a tacky base, I would not recommend it with any pressed pigment type of formula. You do not want a tacky base because then you're gonna have trouble blending it out. But these two, I feel like, are the closest. Now, if I were to compare shade to shade, let me see what I can do for you guys. Chicklet maybe might go with Hanging Off. Like, you're getting similar vibes there. This one's a little bit deeper from the Fight Club one. I'm trying not to stain my fingers, you guys, but it's impossible. Here we have Do or Die, and let's compare it to Fruity one. Not exactly, but you're getting that shininess out of it. The Pretty Cruel, which I told you guys is that matte, can go with Wing It, like these two right here. Can see that they're rather similar. One has more of a brown undertone, the other one has more of a mauve undertone. So you see what I mean? Like, this one I feel like is the closest one that you're gonna get as far as the variety that you're getting out of the Fight Club. The Fight Club is still unique. I still haven't found exactly the same color story, but this is the closest. This is the closest to just a little bit of what you're getting here. Bear in mind, this is only 9, and this one has obviously 12, so you're getting more variety in here, and that's why you're like, oh, but it's still missing. It's gonna miss something because the number of shades are different from both. So this is definitely my closest one that I would say, which shocked me because I did not think of that. That was one of you guys that mentioned to pull this one out to compare it. So there's your comparison, you guys. Again, I'm not here to compare shade to shade. I wanted to give you an overview look of the palettes that you guys had asked, ones that I thought might give you that specific vibe. If it is something that you are still interested in, I would highly recommend this one, you guys. Just by using it today and only today and swatching it today and playing around with it with the other palettes, because I've already swatched and played around knowing which shades might look the same. The quality of this is just like any other Menagerie Cosmetics palette that I've owned. Pressed pigment, it's saturated, it'll stain, So be careful if you do use it on your eyes. It may stain your eyelids, but for whatever reason, never has stained my eyes. I've always been really good with no staining on my eyelids, so that's not a bother to me. It is a pressed pigment. Don't use a tacky base. It's amazing. You're going to get fallout, and don't dig into these shades because they're so saturated in color. You do not need to sit there and dig into these shades. They're amazing on their own. Just lightly tap in there and you will get a beautiful look. So let me get into the demo real quick before I let you guys go, because I know that I've already spent a lot of time talking to you guys about this palette. So obviously I just primed my eyelids. I started off with the darkest matte that I have in here, which is called Flighty. If you pack it on and don't blend it out, you will get a dark, deep shade. But again, it's not as dark and deep as other shades that I have in other palettes. Then I went in with a little baddie, which is a light pink, but it's a lot deeper than what I expected. Blended that over the the Flighty shade, and then put it into my inner corner to kind of do like a halo, not a halo, to blend it out and give it another dimension. Then I went in with Nocturnal. I couldn't help myself. I had to go in with Nocturnal and give it a try, and it is gorgeous. I used my finger at first, and then I went in for detail with a brush, and both ways gave me the same saturation and amazingness. For the lower lash line, I went in with After Dark. After Dark is pulling at my strings. I want to use that all over the lids. It looks amazing, and it gives me a little bit of a shift that I am very interested in using on my lids. I will swatch the Nocturnal and the After Dark together because I want to show you guys. I feel like those are the two most unique shades in here. Look at them. Like, I feel like these are the ones that kind of have a little bit of a shift. This one's a purple blue, and this one has like a red burgundy. And I will put it on as separate like swatches. I already swatched this whole palette, but I want to show these two because I feel like these are the two most shades that are going to be loved. I have a feeling. You can see how different these are. I don't know if you can see on camera if I bring it back a little bit. You could see that these are different. I don't know. These two are just pulling at me. So I already used this one on the lid. I want to use this one on my lid because I have that on my lower lash line, and it really intrigued me. It does have a shift to it. I don't know if they meant to have shifting shades, but I feel like those two are the shifting shades in this palette. All right, I hope I did not confuse anyone. I hope this video was helpful. If you were on the fence, wanted to give this a try, I know purple palettes are a dime a dozen. There's a lot of purple palettes out in the market. I personally just stick to the ones that I truly like as far as formula, and Menagerie Cosmetics is no exception. You guys know that I have loved them since the Pharaoh palette, and I bought every single palette they own. Trust me, you'll see the pastel pup coming up next month because it's all about pastels in the month of April. So that'll be a palette I will be using next month and sharing with you guys. But that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This will be linked down in the description box if you are interested. If you did purchase it, let me know what your thoughts are. If I was kind of close in comparisons, would there be another palette that I missed out that you guys own that maybe similar? Help each other out down in the comment section. I appreciate it very, very much. More videos over here if you are interested in joining me in other videos. Until then, adios.